Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is Daily Race C for the week commencing Monday the 25th of July 2022. This takes place at Monza for basically a mini endurance race. No pit stops needed, no tyre changes needed, no need to worry about fuel. So I guess in a way it's kind of like a sprint format but in a longer race. Definitely one of the better races we've had in a few weeks, to be honest. I really enjoyed my time here, and I think this will be my go-to for the week. Absolutely loving the way this track flows and like how close the racing is. An absolute ton of Supras, which is to be expected. Obviously it is a massively powerful car. You will kind of see throughout just how powerful it is. The race, perfectly acceptable in my opinion. I actually had massive fun doing it. Decent finishing place in the end. However, it did start out a bit rough. A lot of dive bombing going into that first left right. Real big nightmare there. So yeah, you're going to sort of see me, I guess, fall down a few positions to begin with and end up in a lot of battles. However, in the second half of the race, we're really going to crack on and get pushing, and where others are making mistakes, we're going to keep on pushing. So coming up here, this silver Supra, which you're going to see spin just here. You may have spotted him weaving completely randomly down the straight on the first lap, so I guess that's a little bit of karma. We're going to run just past Nitro here, getting a better run out of the corner there. Sadly, that Supra's got massive top end speed, and it's really fast here at Monza. Obviously Monza's a very quick track. I don't know kind of why he wanted to just dive so far on the inside there, but you know, I'm going to get a bit frustrated with this guy, but you're going to see later on we are actually going to manage to kind of, you know, get a revenge, but obviously not in a spiteful way. Obviously I'm running the Genesis X here. Obviously I believe they're still partnered with Gran Turismo. Absolutely love this car. While it feels really big and bulky and quite heavy, it's actually rather quite, I guess, agile feeling through the corners. And I know I've not got the top speed, but I know I can try, and if I keep it stable through the corners and on the exit of corners, I know I can really make up my time there. We're going to get another Supra making a late move. He's going to run it really deep, but he's going to manage to sort of hold it off, getting a slip at the back there. So the Supras are seeming very twitchy around here this week. It was kind of the same at Sardinia last week. Very twitchy on the rears. You're going to see quite a few Supras doing that kind of thing as they go out of corners, and obviously that Supra's now ran wide. So we've now got a BMW running in our slipstream. Obviously we've not really got a slipstream, so I know at this point I'm a sitting duck, and at Monza it's never a good thing. If you haven't got a slipstream, you're in trouble basically. So I know at some point this BMW is going to get me as long as it doesn't make a mistake. So I'm just trying to sort of hold him off, but we're going to run a little bit wide there. I'm lucky to get away with that, not running too much of the gravel or sort of spinning myself around, and this is going to allow the BMW to close up. But obviously I'm just going to try and, you know, break that slipstream just for a little bit, give myself a little bit of a relief. But this BMW is going to stick with me really well. I'm always quite worried when I've got a car following me, because obviously your braking distance has changed, especially if you're in a slipstream. And I know after, you know, a lot of these straights is some really tight corners, and I was just half expecting just to be punted into the shadow realm. So, you know, quite happy to have quite a bit of clean racing really going on. There's a few moments where I'm like, oh, you know, what was the point in kind of making that late move, because you've ran deep, you've kind of, you know, pushed me off of my line really. It can get a bit frustrating at that point, but we're going to keep running with this BMW. Obviously he's made his move, so it's my turn to run in his slipstream. Basically we're just hoping that these I guess it's two Supras up there are going to, as one absolutely clatters the wall there, so we're actually going to move up a place there. So shout out to Ali Loves a Drink, because you must have been under the influence of something there. I don't know what happened, it just looked like it did a sharp left into the barrier. So anyway, sorry, we're still running with this BMW, and again you can just see the rear end slip out there, and that is actually a weakness of this car. If you're not quite, you know, careful enough with the throttle control out of the corner, it is going to sort of kick the rear. It's very prone to that. So it does require quite a bit of throttle control getting back onto the power. I know they've got a Supra behind me, and we're sort of in a 4-car train here, but he's also got a 1-second penalty, so this is going to allow me to break a, you know, bit of his slipstream really. The BMW running wide but coming back on the track quite cleanly. So no problem there, managing to just keep in his slipstream, and it's looking like Nitro's made a mistake somewhere because he's sort of been brought back into the train, so this is only benefiting us guys behind him. Oh, and the BMW is going to spin round, so putting the power down a bit too early or a bit too harsh, and sadly that's the BMW gone. So I've now again not got much of a slipstream, and the cars are a lot more spread out. Obviously the car behind the Supra taking the second penalty and sort of just dropping back a bit there. So I know that how fast that Supra is. So in a straight line it's unbeatable. Even when I'm running in slipstreams, I just wasn't making any ground on them. They can hold you off without running in a single bit of slipstream. Even if you're you've ran in the slipstream, you've ran alongside them, they'll still pull on you. It's absolutely crazy the top end speed these Supras have, as it was looking like. Yeah, so yeah, this Supra's really gained a lot of time down there, even after a second penalty. And it's just a straight section. After that, he's managed to get right up to the back of us almost. So I'm kind of thinking, am I going to have to go defensive here, or can I keep on pushing and try and obviously attack Nitro for that position? First place pretty much disappeared into nowhere. Great race from him, real commanding drive, to be honest. He didn't put a foot wrong. I did start taking time away at the end from first place, however at that point it was already 10 seconds up, and you're gonna see why really. My pace, I would say, was about, I believe my fastest lap was about 8/10 slower than the fastest lap of the whole race, I believe. So and that was just flat out really really good lap. So yeah, it's just showing you how quick that Supra really is on its not only top speed, but it's one lap pace. So if you get everything right with that Supra and it suits your driving style, personally for me it doesn't really suit, then honestly you're going to get some great wins and some close racing this week. However, as we go on to lap 5, you're going to see I've managed to get back in that slipstream, so I'm just going to use it to my advantage, try and bring myself as close as possible, and just try and distract Nitro here really. I mean, I know he's kind of prone to, I guess, some more harsher last minute sort of dive moves, so I'm a bit worried about getting too close, but I'm going to just try and do as much as I can to kind of distract him. And as you can see, he's going to run a little bit deep there, not the best line through there. I'm going to get a great run out, and this is where I'm going to start doing a bit of distraction techniques, just hoping that if I get close enough and start like pulling out like I'm going to overtake, he's going to think I'm going to attempt to make a move, but I'm not here. As you can see, a little bit of contact, so he braked a little bit early there for my liking, but we both managed to survive it. No penalty was given. It's just a bit of racing in the end, but I'm really on his tail here, so I'm managing to get the full amount of slipstream, but I'm still not able to get too close. As you can see, I'm going to back out of this one. There's no way I'm going to try and make a move through there, because I'm just asking for trouble if I do. You can see we've managed to drop the cars behind us, and I believe while we were racing we got the gap up from 4th place to about 5 seconds, so we were quite clean in a way there, as first place just kept on his great drive, to be honest. I did kind of look back at his race and it was just spotless, like absolutely faultless, so massive shout out to him. Great win, to be honest, really commanding. But anyway, I'm going to obviously try and get in the slipstream again here, and I know this is kind of my moment and I'm hoping it's going to pay off. As you can see, we're going to get a massive boost just there, and we're going to pull out and hope we can try and get past him. But that top end of that Supra is just ridiculous. Obviously I pulled out alongside him hoping I can just maybe get in front of him, but no, the Supra is just able to defend it so easily. So I mean, I don't know if there's any car that can really match the Supra on its top end, but trust me, those things are really really fast around here. So this is where I know I'm going to make quite a bit of time up if I can get it right, and I do manage to get quite a clean run there, but the Supra up in front, Nitro here, managed to get a bit of a better run. His braking did seem a little bit off there, so I'm going to manage to close the gap, run the curb and get as close as possible. And obviously we've got that massive run sort of through the wooded area and downhill into, I believe, Ascari it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sorry if I did get it wrong, because I know a lot of people absolutely love Monza, but when I'm commentating it's difficult to remember things off of the top of my head if I haven't got notes there for it. So again, the slipstream not really coming in handy down there, but we are going to sort of try and just keep that gap as close as possible and hope that we put enough pressure on for him to kind of just make a little bit of a mistake. but he's going to do no such thing through there. He's getting a clean run, and again I'm getting in that slipstream. We're about the halfway point of this race now at this point, so we're coming into that, you know, swooping right-hander, and he's going to look like he runs a little bit wide there, a bit twitchy. So I'm going to try and keep as much throttle control through there as possible, hopefully close the gap up. We're still very close to him, so I'm hoping that, you know, towards the bottom of this straight here, that we're going to sort of close that gap up again, but it's not looking likely. As you can see, I'm running perfectly in this slipstream and I'm just not gaining, you know, towards the bottom end of this straight. That Supra is it's crazy fast, so a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. So at this point, I know the best places I can make up time is in the middle sector. So I'd say this left-right-hander into the wooded area, obviously lose a bit of time on the straights, and then into a Scari where I can sort of maybe make a bit of time up. But then obviously we're back on the straights where I know this Supra is going to kill me. We get an absolute great run through there, and we're right on the back of him. We're just going to move out of it to make him think we're going to go up the inside, but then he does. He goes a little bit wide. Twitching at the rear end, but sadly we can't get the move done there. We're going to run, you know, again on the back of him, try and get a slipstream down here, but that Supra is just going to pull straight off. We're obviously just going to try and use that slipstream to our advantage, but it's just no advantage there really. Very frustrating. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there is a balance of performance kind of update coming, so that Supra shouldn't be that quick, you know, I guess this week, if it comes. As a Supra twitches, that could have been a disaster. But we're going to get alongside him here, and we're going to see that again, that top speed of the Supra just pulling a little bit towards the end of this straight, giving him the inside line. I know I've kind of got to keep it on the outside, bit of throttle control, and it did look like contact there, but I didn't feel any from any of us, so I'm just going to say that none was made. But at this point, I'm as close as I'm ever going to be. I'm going to try and get the overtake done, but again, we're going to run in that slipstream. There's the boost, and then I'm pulling alongside him, and still nothing, and yeah, there you go, he starts pulling again. So frustrating as all hell. Like, I'm just trying my best just to get past this one car. I know, you know, as we're battling it out, we're killing each other's sort of gap to the leader. There's no way we're going to catch him. He's just having a nice clean race, basically. He's just doing a time trial, but yep, trying to get the perfect run through there, and the Supra is finally going to make a mistake. I don't know if it was pressure or what, but he does clip that gravel there. We're then going to obviously take second place, and I believe he's going to run wide here again. Yep, so he's just, at this point, he's just looking like he's frustrated. So obviously I'm in now clean air, and as much as we did try and get the gap down to the leader, we did end up taking another couple of seconds away from him, especially while we're in that, I guess, second section of the track. We did get the gap up to around about 4 seconds to third place. We sort of ran on our own for the rest of this race here. Nothing else to really show you, just some, you know, clean few laps in. So as awesome as a race I had, you know, sadly that is it for sort of on-track battles and such. Really awesome to battle with Nitro. Like, yes, he made a, you know, a bit of a frustrating move, I should say, at the beginning, where he just sort of dive bombed and went for it, but we did manage to get back past him in the end. Also shout out to Ali Loves a Drink for obviously making his way back up after that big spin he had. So yeah, not a bad race at all, and honestly a massive shout out to the leader. Obviously I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name, I'm sorry, but I don't want to butcher it. But, you know, shout out for such a commanding drive, and sort of keeping yourself out of the drama and just getting going, and yeah, really commanding victory from you know, yourself. I'm quite happy with P2, definitely after dropping back in them early stages. Really happy to kind of bring it back and have some really close racing, and as I said, this will definitely be my sort of go-to for the week. So if you do see me out there on track, don't forget to say hello. I'm not arrogant. I will kind of, you know, respond to you guys. It's always awesome to kind of meet people that recognize me. I've had it a few times now, and it's really weird. I'm still kind of getting used to that. Like, obviously, it's yeah, a bit of a strange feeling, I guess. Obviously we're at over 5k subs now, so thank you so much to everyone that's kind of made that a possibility. I am genuinely massively grateful to you all. So yeah, that is going to be really the end of the video. I'll let the clip play out, obviously. I'm not just going to sort of cut it short. Like I said though, no more real on-track action. We're just going to sort of maintain this gap and keep a gap from third place. We're going to come across the line in P2. So thank you for listening to me basically waffle on. But yeah, seriously, massive thank you. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers guys, peace.